Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a flip through for you for Masterbooks World Geography and Cultures. This is their 9th grade through 12th grade high school level World Geography. It was released in May of 2026, which is this month, but in case you're viewing this years from now, you know when this was purchased. Let's see, line this up. So this comes from a young Earth perspective, but you can see that they discuss Pangea. And notice you will still get your latitude, longitude, prime meridian, all of your basic geography information, just in case for those of us that have taken more of an unschool approach or a less rigorous approach. And so this goes through a biblical timeline. You will see these points after every section, prayer points. So if you are secular, pay attention to that. All of your languages spoken, population. And over here, you will always get a breakdown for every country of what the religion is going to be. I have found using my own research that these numbers are fairly close. However, they tend to dock a couple points from Catholics and put that in the Protestant section. Not always, but a lot of the countries. They will remind you that as Protestants, as Christians, they do not recognize, Christians do not recognize Muslims as being a true religion. So that will also be in here if that is something that concerns you. Know that if that is something you support, then this might be something for you. I'm going to skip ahead and not show exactly every page. Muslim, Protestant, Catholic. And you'll also see a section on many countries for Orthodox. Government. So here's an example of them giving scripture for the young Earth perspective. Economic industries. You will see this throughout the book for all of these countries. Tells you all of your information. And if you are a Catholic interested in using this for your own homeschool, these are things that you can easily update and add to the timeline. In my case, 1982 of August, Our Lady of Kibiho prophesized this event right here. about 10 years before it happened. So that's what I left these stickies in for my daughter. Again, if you're Catholic, it's very easy to find a saint for the area. You can watch a movie for that saint. We happen to have Saint Charbel. Now notice this region that we're going over next. And so again, if you are Catholic, non-Protestant, and you are not into the Zionist world, that is not something you agree with, these parts right here will be of a concern for you, and you're going to want to have conversations with your children. Use whiteout tape, black marker, whatever that might be for you. This is an example of where the Catholic population was not included. So I made that note for my children because there are Catholics in Turkey, Israel, and Palestine. Our parish personally supports members of that community through their art that they whittle out of olive wood. So again, you can include Catholic timeline here. This, if you can see. Again, this takes more of a Zionist, pro-Zionist perspective that may or may not fit you, but it is easy to have those conversations if you choose to do so. Our family has been doing that for years. Again, missing the Catholic population, even though it is in there. No Catholic, even though a very well-known bishop by the name of Bishop Athanasius Snyder is from Kazakhstan. He's very pro-tradition. So those are some of the caveats I have. Otherwise, this book is pretty fair. All of the beautiful photography. So this is where I actually found an error. Catholics arrived in 1628, not 1833 for first missionaries. Catholics were doing that over 200 years earlier. That's an error, as family members in the emperor's house are Catholic. But this is where they get Catholic timeline actually correct. So here I saw where you can do a vintage book if you can find it. Wheel on the Chimney goes through the life and history of this particular bird. And here they're using a Catholic church. I'm going to sneeze, oh my gosh. Sorry. This is a fun little fact right here. I thought that would be fun to watch the episode of I Love Lucy season 5, episode 23, where she actually stomps on grapes. Just little things you can add. And this right here, Vatican City. They could have really taken some swipes at the Catholic Church, the Pope. They did not. They were fair. Again, Pope Leo. They were fair and factual. So it talks about him, just factual information, nothing sensational. Well, left a note here for my daughter about an elderly woman who had a guillotine event while at one of the Notre Dame cathedrals in France. I will not sugarcoat that for my children. They need to know. And if that offends you, that's what it is. This could be a fun bit of study. So many rabbit holes you could go on with this one. And a little factoid for you. This is discussing London Bridge. This is not the original London Bridge. The original London Bridge is actually in Arizona. So if you want to go to Arizona, you can go walk the original one. Jan Brett books would go well with this particular unit. We have a place near us where they have a cedar tree trunk that is almost 200 years old that was carved to have a home built out of it. And so you can go tour that. So maybe you can find something like that. I think there's one or two more like that somewhere in the United States. Let's see, the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe in Mexico, where the shroud, not the Shroud of Turin, where the mantle of St. Juan Diego is housed, and that's a fun study where NASA actually went and studied the tilma and performed all sorts of scientific tests and experiments on this tilma, and they found that Our Lady's image, you could see the eyes, you could get a pulse, you could feel the temperature, her skin temperature, all sorts of amazing miracles. But it's interesting that they put that one in there. Very easy to see how you can get some earth science in this. Oh, the rabbit holes you could go down this with this one. Okay, that's it for this one, and now we're gonna just quickly go through the teacher guide. See if I can zoom in a little bit. You, as a parent, have the choice of how many or if any you want to assign to your children weekly. You will be sketching boundaries of landmarks, rivers. Again, more earth science questions. It's a little bit blurry. You can keep this multiple choice, or you can do narrations. And these are your maps and your answer keys. And your answer key for your multiple choice and essay questions. And this will also give you a daily schedule. And that is World Geography from Masterbooks, grades 9 through 12. If you have any questions, let me know.